What are we doing?
I thought you were saying something.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, you? Are you saying something? Are you gonna say something? Alright, guys. Alright, so before we get to the inside, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about.
We need some practice. Hey family and friends, the time has finally come. Peach the van is finished. We have been dreaming this up for 2 years now and we're just super excited to show you guys what we've been working on. So
Yeah guys, we're super stoked, so let's jump right to it. Come on in.
So something that was really important to us was that even though we're obviously living in such a tiny space, we wanted it to have a cozy, homey feel, but still feel kind of open. So we went with the white walls, gives it a little bit more of an open vibe. We can sit in here and we don't feel like we're just cramped and claustrophobic. It does feel really cozy. Here is our little kitchen area. It's one of my favorite parts in the whole van. I love our subway tile. We've got a 2-burner stove over here. So one of the best parts of our kitchen is our nice spice rack. We love them so much. Originally, we wanted them to stick on to our refrigerator, and it came in the mail, and we quickly realized that it is not magnetic. I was a little bit upset about that until we got the magnetic strip on the wall, and I actually like it a lot better. I think it adds a lot to our little kitchen. Above the spice rack, we have a little knife rack. Obviously, we don't have them on there yet. If we go up a little bit, open our little pantry section. You want to talk about the latches, Ben?
Yeah, so we opted for these marine grade latches basically to keep everything locked in place when we're driving, because it is like a moving earthquake. So if we didn't have these latches on, I mean, they come in many different forms, but you can see they latch all into place. Basically stuff would be just flying out everywhere.
So we open these guys up. What we plan, we just have a little pantry area over here. We got these little baskets so that our food isn't just like moving around crazy while we're driving. We hear a lot of the times people say that if you don't do this, they'll open it up and then just everything just falls down. So got this to hopefully keep it all in place.
Target for the win.
Target. Over here we pretty much just got water bottles, cups, we've got our coffee kettle, we have our Chemex, which we're really excited about. We're super into coffee, so here in these little drawers, top drawer, we've got all of our silverware, cooking utensils, and it actually comes out. Super convenient. So
look at those plates.
Those yellow plates. Yeah, so we've got plates, bowls, coffee mugs, wine glasses, a little bit of Tupperware, pretty much everything we need. Set this right back in here, and this moves back and forth, which is super nice.
Yeah, so we chose to go with the truck fridge. I think it's the 130 version. Not only for the space, but it is a lot cheaper than what we originally were going to go with, which was a Nova Cool. The only downside, I think, with it is it's not magnetic on the outside.
Over here is my absolute favorite part of the van. We had this shelf specially built in to keep all of our books. I love to read, so it's kind of like my little book nook over here. We added some plants for a little decor. check out Elena over at Simply Potted Savannah. She's got literally the absolute best plants, and she is the sweetest. She's got a plant bus that she's tricked out, and it's super cool. Go check out her page.
We're not doing too great of a job to take care of the old banana plant.
Elena, if you're watching this, we're doing our best.
We're not green thumbs. We're trying.
So one of the coolest, most functional parts of our van that I think we are going to really enjoy is our little slide-out table. Pop it out.
Woohoo!
Super excited. Just have dinners together, play games, have our coffee in the morning. And our little nook chairs over here are super spacious and comfy, so I think we'll be spending a lot of time in this area of the van.
All right, so under our dinette area, we have some storage under here, which I'll go ahead and show you. Take these cushions off. Easy access. Oops, that's not what you're supposed to do. And then we have some extra storage. We have our blender down there. We have a humidifier, cutting board, a bottle of wine, which is necessary, and some bags, our colander. And then this is where our sealed propane locker is. So it is completely sealed. And then if you look down at the bottom there, it does have a hole. So if there is any leak, because propane is more dense than air, it will vent out the bottom of the van. And just in case, we have a propane alarm down here, and it is violently loud. So it's pretty safe, about as safe as you can get as far as our propane system. And then under this side of the van, put the cushion there. It's on a double hinge. And we have our toilet that we have not used yet. It's still in its plastic wrap, but it's got a 5-gallon reservoir, has great reviews online, so we figured we'd give it a shot.
Just want to point out these super cute pillows that my sweet friend over at Elsie Shop sent me for the van. I love them so much. I'm going to link her down at the bottom. This mustard yellow one is everything. And then of course, you know we had to put a little macrame in the van. My friends and family know that I do macrame, but if you haven't checked out my page yet, go ahead and check it out, Meg and Carly Macrame.
So this is our control panel over here. Basically everything we need, and as far as managing the van is right here. We have our light switches first up, and we have 8 total in the van, 6 on the overhead in the ceiling, and then 2 under the cabinets in the kitchen area. So we have them on dimmer switches and zones, so these are over the bed. And then the dinette is here. And then we have the kitchen zone here, and then the 2 under cab right there. We have our heater. So our heater basically is tapped into our fuel tank, and that is an S-bar heater B4L, and it's located right there under the passenger seat, as you can see, which keeps us nice and dry and warm. And then we have some 12-volt sockets here, USB quick charge, and then our AC outlets as well right there, and we have 3 of these located in the van, 1 here, 1 over this dinette area here, and then 1 in the kitchen, so easy access from all parts of the van. And last but not least, the most important part is basically this is our Victron battery monitor, and it tells us how we're doing as far as state of charge, how many amp hours we've used, and our current usage and load on the van. And then another way we can check this is through our phone on the Victron monitoring app. We decided to get a faucet where we can pull out and fill something outside of the van if we needed to. We got a little cutting board and cover for the sink here. And we went with the Ravati sink. We wanted a nice deep sink to keep our dishes in if we didn't feel like doing them. This also flips up, and this is on a magnet. So it flips up for extra counter space, food prep, what have you. We have our blackout curtain, and we went with a little mountain backdrop just to kind of add to the vibe. And we can push this out the way. It's on a little hanging latch. latch there. And this swivel seat comes all the way around. So this acts as like another eating spot for if we have a guest, which is super nice. And it is a little bit raised, so we have a nice step under here. So our feet are not just dangling off the whole time. And this acts as our shoebox. So maybe like our tennis shoes and our sandals will go in there. The ones that we use the most, and then the rest of them are going to go what we call the garage space, which we'll show you guys in just a bit.
So welcome to our bedroom area. Something that we really valued when we were designing this van was having a super cozy bedroom space and bed in particular. Our bed is a short queen, which means that it's about as wide as a regular queen bed is, but it's about 5 inches shorter. A lot of people are surprised when they find out that we could fit a queen size bed in here because it's such a small space, but it actually worked out perfectly. We've got a little few inches. How many inches is it?
Yeah, so we sacrificed a little bit of insulation, and it's probably about 3 inches on the inset for the footboard and the headboard. But I'm not quite 6 feet, I'm 5'11", so it actually works perfectly. I think someone 6'3" could sleep on this,
yeah.
East to west. So it's actually a pretty good sized bed.
So I'll go ahead and hop on up here and show you guys our closet area. So just pop this baby open. And pop this one open too. So we got these packing cubes off of Amazon, which turned out to be a lifesaver for all of our clothes. We like to be organized, and it's really important to be organized in such a tiny space. So we've got a few different sizes of these packing cubes. So I've got like all my shirts in one, all my shorts in one, you know, they're all organized. So all I have to do is just pull out one little bag. I don't have to pull everything out. And also, just like the pantries, so like if we didn't have these in bags for driving, we open these and all of our clothes fall out. So this hopefully is going to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, and to be honest, these things, you can hold a lot of clothes in them. They can hold probably 2.5 weeks worth of clothes.
Maybe over 2 weeks of clothes. I mean, it looks like a tiny space, but there are a lot of clothes packed in there. Also, underneath the van, which we'll show you guys in a little bit, we do have a bin with just our sweaters and jackets and bulkier clothes that we didn't want to take up space in our little tiny closet area.
Alright, so we decided to have a turn overland window installed, and I think honestly this is the best window on the market. Not only is it awning style, so you can have it open in the rain, but it's made of like some sort of like, I guess, or acrylic or something like that, so it's really not going to shatter or have anything where it's like extremely fragile. And then it can click one more time for like a nice cross breeze to come in here. And you push it again to close it. Well, obviously I don't know how to do it. And then you just latch it down on the 4 sides. Another thing you can do is you have a bug screen that can slide up and button into place, which is nice. And then if we're going to sleep and everything, you can black everything out. And there you have it. So it's got some nice latches on there, and it's pretty durable. We've been pretty pleased with it so far. This is our only window in the van, so we wanted to roll with a good one. And then over here we have our little, I guess, gyro Sirocco fan. We found it on Amazon. It's pretty expensive for a fan, but we wanted something to blow on us while we're sleeping, keep us at least somewhat cool, and you can kind of move it in any direction that you please. Up
here we just have a little bit of extra storage space. We've got our blackout window covers that'll keep it dark and cool in here. We've got some of my sweaters. I like to be cozy and comfy, so these are super handy right up here at the top. We've got our camping chairs up here that we'll show you guys at some point. They're super cool, but just super easy access. We've got these hooks that we installed pretty much just for, I mean, wet clothes, wet towels, hats, whatever. Maybe some macrame, hang a rod up there, tie some knots. You never know.
Alright, as far as ventilation, because we obviously need some in this van, as I am sweating quite a bit just making this video, We opted for 2 max air fans, so we can put one on intake, put one on exhaust, especially above the bed to have cool air at night. And then this one we can probably mainly put it on exhaust to have our cooking heat exhausted out of there. Because we only have one window, we wanted 2 just to make us a little bit more comfortable.
I like to do pull-ups. It's like my main form of working out. So I'm just gonna show you guys how this works. 2. Oh yeah. 3.
All right, so for the outside part of the sink, we wanted a little flip down counter space. I guess if we're, you know, camping or cooking outside, something to put our plates on. And here we have our gray tank, which is 7 gallons, so we'll frequently have to dispense of this in proper areas. We have our filter, so all of our water that's coming through our sink is filtered. A trash can, our fire extinguisher, and then we have a little shelf on the inside for cleaning supplies. South Georgia heat, baby.
It's a little hot out here.
It's a little warm. As on top of the van, we have 2 160 watt Renogy solar panels, so 320 watts total. And when you can see the 2 max air fans in the front and the back. And that's really the basics of what's on top there. We kind of wanted a low profile. All right, now we're gonna move on to my favorite part of the van. The back, baby. And here we have the garage space, baby. Look at all that space. So we have pretty much all we need back here. Cooler, inflatable kayak, shoes, Megan's macrame stuff.
Very important.
She takes about 18 boxes back there. But, and then a whole box for jackets and whatnot. So here we have our electrical system. This is where all of our main components are housed in this box. We have our AC breakers here, and this controls our shore power, which is located on the other side of this wall. And if we open this cabinet, you can kind of see in there the inverter and charger, the solar charge controller, the fuse box, breakers, all that. We have a total of 400 amp hour batteries, and they are lithium, and it is a completely enclosed Victron system. That was all put together by Freedom Van Gogh. So if you guys have any electrical needs, I advise you to go check them out. They're located in Jacksonville, Florida, and they do an amazing job. They are the gurus. Over here, we have our water system, 20-gallon water tank. It's, I believe, by Titan Vans. It kind of fits nicely over the wheel well. We have our water pump and accumulator back here. Got a nice safe here, and it's mounted to the van, so it's not going anywhere. And here we have our outdoor shower. So we have our propane line and our water line. Make sure these guys are on. And it got a nice pressure to it and gets hot in about 10 seconds or so. Our flip vents to the outside. This adds just a little bit of passive airflow above the bed at night, just to keep us nice and cool. And for our shower purposes, we can put our shampoo, conditioner, all that, a little towel rack, just to make it a little bit more accommodable for the outside. And so that's one of the main reasons why we opted for the platform bed, is just so we can fit all of our toys, all of Megan's macrame stuff under here. And we have quite a bit of space. You can't even see our camping packs and all of our supplies back there, but it's there. All this carpentry is done by Red's Custom Design. He has a Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Look him up. He's located in Tazewell, Indiana. He did such an amazing job with everything. We gave him the design and the color scheme and everything what we wanted, and he just ran with it. And we're just so impressed by his work. So if you want any work done on your van, go see him. Alright guys, so we hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, that was painfully awkward for us, so we hope it wasn't too brutal to watch. But yeah, there you have it.
Stay tuned for more epic and awkward adventures.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.